only 39% of Americans can cover a $1,000 emergency expense without borrowing. Most think they budget, but that number hasn't budged in a decade. So when someone tells you the 50-30-20 rule will fix your finances, remember that stat. For most people, it doesn't. Not because the math is wrong, but because they apply it wrong. This isn't a cheerleading session. We're going to pressure test it. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use the 50-30-20 rule correctly, where it breaks down, and what adjustments actually work in the real world. What you'll have when this is done. If you follow the steps in this guide, you'll have a functional category-based budget that tells you, with a single glance, whether your spending is structurally healthy or structurally broken. Not whether you overspent on coffee, whether your entire financial life is pointed in the right direction. Prerequisites before you start. Before the 50-30-20 rule works, you need these three things. First, your actual after-tax monthly income, not gross, not what you think you earn, but the actual number that lands in your bank account every month. Second, 90 days of bank and credit card statements, not 1 month. 3, 1 month is a lie, 3 months is a pattern. Third, a spreadsheet or a budgeting app, something to total categories. You won't do this in your head. If you don't have those three things, pause this video, get them, and come back. The rule means nothing without real numbers. Step 1. Understand what the rule actually says. The 50-30-20 rule, popularized by Senator Elizabeth Warren in her 2005 book, All Your Worth, is simple. Allocate 50% of your after-tax income to needs, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings and debt repayment. That's the whole framework. But here's what most people miss. Warren designed it for middle-income households, chronically over-leveraged, not high earners. It's a diet of prescription. It tells you if something is wrong, not exactly what to do. That distinction matters more than almost anything else in this video. This next insight is where most budgeting advice gets it wrong. Step 2. Calculate your actual category totals. Sort those 90 days of statements into 3 buckets. Needs are non-negotiable survival expenses, rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, minimum debt payments, insurance, transportation to work. Not streaming subscriptions, not gym memberships, not restaurants. Those are wants, even if they feel essential. Wants are everything you choose to spend on that isn't survival. Dining out, entertainment, subscriptions, clothing beyond basics, hobbies, travel. Savings and debt repayment includes emergency fund contributions, retirement accounts, any extra payments above the minimum on debt, and investments. Total each category for 3 months, divide by 3 for your monthly average, then divide each average by your monthly after-tax income. You'll get 3 percentages. Write them down. Most people are shocked at this step. If you're already feeling squeezed, get ready for the real shocker. A 2023 Consumer Expenditure Survey found the average American household spends roughly 33% of after-tax income on housing alone, before utilities, groceries, anything else. If your rent or mortgage is eating more than a third of your take-home, you're already mathematically outside 50-30-20 boundaries, and no amount of cutting coffee will fix that. Step 3. Diagnose where you're actually broken. Skepticism pays off here. Look at your percentages and ask a harder question than most budget guides will. If your needs percentage is above 50%, there are 2 causes. Your fixed costs are genuinely too high, or you're misclassifying wants as needs. Both are common. I've seen premium cable listed under utilities, gym memberships under health necessities. That's motivated reasoning, and it will keep you broke. If your wants are above 30%, that's a lifestyle inflation problem, usually the easiest to fix with awareness. If your savings rate is below 20%, that's where long-term wealth destruction happens quietly. A 1% difference sustained over 30 years isn't a rounding error. Compound interest is exponential. Missing 5% of savings at 25 doesn't cost you 5% at retirement. It can cost hundreds of thousands. The diagnosis tells you which lever to pull first. Before you jump to cutting coffee, you need to understand this crucial order. Step 4. Make the adjustments in the right order. Most budget advice starts with wants. Cut the subscriptions, brew your own coffee, stop ordering delivery, And yes, that helps, but it's the wrong starting point if your needs are broken. The right order is this: fix needs first, then savings, then wants. If your needs are over 50%, you have a structural problem. That means looking at housing costs, car payments, and debt minimums, the big fixed expenses. These are harder to change than a Netflix subscription, but they have 10 times the impact. Could you refinance, move to a cheaper area, trade down on a vehicle? These are uncomfortable questions, but they're the right ones. Once needs are under 50%, make your savings automatic before you do anything else. Set up an automatic transfer to a savings or investment account on payday. The behavioral research on this is overwhelming. If the money hits your checking account first, you will spend some of it. Automation removes the decision entirely. Only after those two steps are addressed do you work on trimming wants to 30%. Step 5. Revisit and recalibrate every 90 days. A budget isn't a one-time event. It's a measurement system, only useful if run consistently. Every 90 days, pull your statements again, recalculate your 3%, and check for drift. Lifestyle inflation is subtle. A new subscription here, a slightly higher grocery bill there, individually invisible, collectively catastrophic over years. Set a recurring calendar reminder. Treat it like a quarterly business review for your household finances. Ask yourself, did my income change? Did any fixed costs change? Is my savings rate higher or lower than last quarter? Those 3 questions take 20 minutes and will tell you everything you need to know. Common pitfalls that will derail you. The first pitfall is using gross income instead of after-tax income. I see this constantly. If you earn $80,000 a year, but take home $58,000, your budget must be based on $58,000. Budgeting on gross income makes your savings targets look achievable when they aren't. The second pitfall is ignoring irregular expenses. Annual insurance premiums, car registration, holiday spending, back-to-school costs. These don't show up monthly, but they are predictable. Divide them by 12 and add that monthly average to your needs or wants category, depending on what they are. The third pitfall is treating 50-30-20 as a ceiling instead of a floor for savings. If you're earning well above median income or have no dependents, there is no good reason your savings rate should sit exactly at 20%. Warren designed this framework for people under financial stress. If you're not under financial stress, your savings rate should be climbing. The honest limitation of this rule. I'll say it plainly, the 50-30-20 rule doesn't work in high cost of living cities for average earners. If you're renting a one-bedroom in San Francisco or Sydney or London on a median income, there is no version of this math where housing stays under 50% of take-home. The rule assumes you have flexibility in your fixed costs that many people simply don't have. That doesn't mean the framework is useless. It means you use it as a diagnostic to understand exactly how squeezed you are, and you direct your energy accordingly. Maybe 60-20-20 is your realistic baseline right now, with a plan to improve it over 3 years as income grows. An honest budget that reflects reality is infinitely more useful than an aspirational budget you abandon in February. Your action item for today. One thing, just one. Pull your last 3 months of bank statements today, not this weekend today, and calculate your actual needs percentage. That single number will tell you more about your financial health than any budgeting app dashboard. This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Always consult a qualified financial advisor before making major financial decisions. If your needs percentage surprised you, either higher or lower than you expected, drop it in the comments. I read them, and the data from real viewers is genuinely more interesting than most surveys. If this gave you a different way to look at your budget, subscribe, because we do this kind of honest breakdown every week.